Welcome, gamers. It is Friday. We're back again with this game. That's right, we haven't played this game in a long time. There may be people that have even never seen me play this game. They're like, what is this? I've never seen this before. And why is he dressed as Mario? Well, it's because I'll be playing Mario's Picross after this. But first we're playing this game. Anyway, welcome Stream Elements, welcome Duck. Welcome Wed and Probs Not Jack and Deffins and Zoli and Hamflo. That's everyone. That's literally everyone. Okay, so it has been a while since my last stream. I have not streamed since Monday, and that means surely I'll have a lot of things to talk about, right? Clearly. I've completed all weekly hoops. There's no, wait a second. That's not true. Wait, there's more, right? Surely, I haven't done all of them. What is this? My weekly hoops. I haven't done all of them. What is this? I guess they're all just unlocked and I can choose to do some? Is that what it is? Did I do these? I don't remember. Wait, did I do these? I guess I did. I don't remember that. I don't remember doing these. Does anyone remember these? I remember doing this one. I remember some of these. But not all of them. Well, anyway. We haven't had Stitch and Picross? Yeah. Because, I don't know. I've been doing other stuff. We've been to 2024. Are you seeing this? 2024? What is this one? A heart one. We have tennis. We have a guy. We have where's that? A rabbit of some kind. We do this one. Extra large though. Sometimes those can take a while. Do I want to do an extra large? What about this one? What do you think this is? What about this one? A mountain. Alright, let's do that. I want to see what this one is. Okay, Easter. Well, I mean Easter, I don't know, that's not even relevant anymore. What is this one? World Heritage Day, difficulty hard. National Limerick Day, difficulty hard. International Day of Charity. Let's do this one. Yeah, charities. Got 'em. Anyway, it's been a while for this game as well as for stream. You may be like, Wolfie, why were you not streaming on Wednesday? That's so unusual. Typically, you'll stream on Monday and Wednesday and Friday and Saturday. But this time, there was none. This guy was not even streaming on the day that he normally streamed. Well, I had a work thing. And the work thing specifically was some kind of, you know, like companies, they have like hackathon projects that they work on. We had something similar. I'm gonna give enough information that you will dox me. You'll be like, wait a second, a place that does a hackathon type thing, wait, there's only like a billion companies that do that. And then you're like, okay, but then it's like on this week. Then what? Then you're like, okay, let's find all the companies that are in New York that have a hackathon on this week, and then, well, you know, and then we can find out where he works, right? Maybe I will not count out the possibility that you can possibly find out where I'm living. Not living, you know, you already know where I live. Let's say I went to bed earlier on Wednesday. It was kind of messed up because Wednesday, like, I wasn't streaming. Chocojax, you know, she doesn't stream on Wednesday. Hamflo wasn't streaming. So it's like when I came home, I had nothing to watch. I was like, man, Choco's not streaming, Hamflo's not streaming. What am I even supposed to watch? I don't even know what I did. I think I tuned into like part of some other people's streams and I was like, this is not the same. And then I think I just watched YouTube. I think we just watched some like Northern Line VODs from Librarian, some clips. Like, this is weird. What the heck, man? Can't believe Wolfie works at a company. Unbelievable. Anyway, it was fun. I actually made a game. Now I can't give you specific details on like what the game is because it is like related to the company. The company does not do games, by the way. Now you're like, wait, a company that doesn't do games. Let's mark off all the companies that do games, and he's not working at those. Welcome, Hamp. It's actually Redactyl. I made Redactyl, but it was like specific to what the company does. So instead of a Wikipedia article, it was something else that was relevant. And it was fun. I actually enjoyed playing it. I can't give you more details, but you could imagine it being a fun time. Welcome, Tag Barrel. It was the first hackathon where I actually like participated and did like a presentation and all that, and actually recruited team members. So my idea was like, you know how New York Times has their like daily games and all that? LinkedIn has their daily games. I was like, what if we had that for our company? Get users to use the website or the app or whatever every day. They'll come back and then play the games, and then they'll share their scores with their friends. And then you know, I got someone else on the team that was interested, and then it was a big team. There was like a lot of people that were interested. I got like an 8-person team. Can you believe that? 8 people. But then one person had to drop. But then it was cool. I was expecting like 4 people on the team or less. And then everyone that I told, they were like, what are you working on this hackathon thing? And it was like, a game. They're like, what? A game? This is crazy. What the heck? It's such a cool idea. I love connections. I would love to see a connections theme game. Me when I'm overwhelmed by Gacha Daily, so my Wolfie employee app starts doing them too. No, it's actually fun, okay? If you could see it, you'd be like, wait, that's such a genius idea. Too bad he can't give us any information. I'm telling you, it is actually so cool. It would be a game that I would play on my Variety Saturday streams. If it was a real thing, I would play it. I could see other people playing it. But I did not win, so this is why I feel comfortable talking about it, because my project did not win. So the company is not going to start making daily games. So, you know, if I did win, then I would feel better, then I can't talk about it. So I specifically made it not strong enough so that I would not win. That's not true, I just made that up. It was cool. I worked on it, and it actually was fun. I had a fun time. I implemented some APIs, I fetched some data, I did some front-end development. Did I show my coworkers the Celeste project? No, I have not, and I will not do so. Yeah, we had a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people joined last minute because, I don't know, they just either were not interested in other projects, or they just like, you know, they were not thinking about it. They're just like, oh shoot, I gotta like join a team, I don't know. They joined, and then like I was like hesitant because I know when you have too many people on a project, sometimes it's not good, right? Sometimes you got people that are not pulling their own weight. People that don't know, you know, front-end dev, or they don't know the APIs to call. Kind of slows people down. I was like, okay, 8 people, that's like too many. It's like way too many people. Well, you know, if we have a bunch of different games, maybe it can be parallelizable. Also welcome Nello Chaos. The Stitch is better than what Disney was going for. So true. Puzzle games. What was I saying? Yes, people joining the team. And I feel like we had 8 people. Sorry, we had 7 people because one person dropped. And I feel like only 4 people were really like doing anything like worthwhile, I guess. Is that mean to say? They were not really doing much, but we had some games made, and then I thought, you know, I found it very unlikely that we would win because it doesn't seem like a very viable product for the company. But you know, there was a thing where you could vote for which project you enjoyed. And I was like, okay, if we're not going to win the main one, maybe we could win, you know, popular vote. That also did not happen. So, unfortunate. I was hoping to at least, you know, have some people be like, whoa, games, that's cool. Because everyone I talked to it about, they were like, that's a cool idea. It's like when you're describing a project to people, typically it's just like, oh, that's an interesting idea. But like for me, they were like, whoa, what the? It was like they were legitimately like surprised. They were like, what the heck? Yo, that was so cool. I would love a game. And then it did not happen. But then afterwards, I'm skipping a lot of stuff here. Afterwards, so someone was like, wait, you're the one who worked on the game? Yo, someone was telling me that someone was making a game. That is so cool. I didn't know it was you. Everyone was so enthusiastic about it. Anyway, a lot of people that were not in New York were in fact in the city. And then we had some dinner and it was good. We went to a fancy restaurant. It had, you know, what restaurants tend to have. They tend to have food. This place, in fact, also had food. If you would even believe that this place would have food, it did have food. I ate the food, and it was good. And then we had conversations. Many conversations with people on the team. Social time questions have been asked. People having answers to things. A lot of questions about cooking. A lot of people on the team, I guess, know how to cook. And they're like, what do you like to cook? And I said, I don't cook. And they're like, oh, all right. But everyone else, they talked about, you know, they're like, you know, they're doing like cooking. They're like steaming things in their air fryer. Not steaming in their air fryer. That doesn't make sense. They were like, you know, cooking stuff. They were like making pulled pork or whatever. We had good questions, good discussions. You should learn how to cook. Maybe. You know, I would imagine it's probably a useful skill to have. But I've just had no interest in doing so. Made gyoza with friends? How did that go? How did that go, actually? Gyoza? Get it? Because like gyo? How did that go? What's that sound? Someone's screaming outside. Do you hear that? It was good. I did take notes, not during the dinner, but afterwards I wrote down some discussion topics. Someone mentioned I Show Speed, and no one else on the team knew who he was. But I was like, they were like, does anyone know who he is? And I was like, I know. They were talking about how he was in China. At some point we were talking about China, and then one of the team members was like, oh yeah, I was looking at I Show Speed. He was in China the other day. He was like, I know. I don't watch his streams, but I know who he is. I was the only person who knew. Yo, that's him right there. It turned out very well. That's good to hear. What kind of gyoza? Did you put like pork? Is it pork gyoza? Chicken, perhaps? Shrimp? Some people do shrimp in their gyoza. Welcome, Nutritious. A lot of things to consider. Many ingredients can be placed in gyoza. And it is up to you to decide what is good. Welcome, Old Man Diabetes. He's always crying. Why is bro always crying, huh? What is there to cry about? Anyone cried recently? Can you tell me about it? Can you tell me? Trauma dump in the chat right now. Everyone, the last thing you cried about. Don't actually do that. This is a joke. I'm actually joking, okay? Don't you dare. If you say such a thing, I will ban you. That's not true. What am I doing? I haven't streamed in so long. I don't know how to do it anymore. The pork, we had those while we were in Japan, so we needed to try making them here. That sounds good. Pork is one. We actually also at work we talked about like there was one question that was like, if you could only eat one type of meat in your entire life from now on, what would you choose? Do you all know what you would choose? I chose chicken. A lot of other people, they chose chicken. Some people chose pork. One person chose beef. I was doing breathing exercises and held my breath too long. Causing my ears to tear up. To tear up? What does that mean? Chicken, right? I think chicken is like, there's so many ways to make chicken, right? You could have fried chicken, you could have like other chicken. you could have like roasted chicken, steamed chicken, you could have lava chicken, you could have chicken jockey, you could have chicken curry. Chicken, you know, I think that's a solid option. Other people said, you know, like, I don't know, other stuff. I've eaten too much pork in my life to the point I don't like it. Therefore, I'll be vegetarian. But what about the other meats? You could choose chicken. You could choose pork. Beef, maybe, other, I don't know. Chicken, probably. Yeah, and then they asked, like, you know, how would you prepare the chicken? Or like, they know I didn't cook, but they're like, what type of preparation of the chicken? And I said, there's so many different ones. You could have fried chicken, you could have curry chicken, and then I was like, okay, curry chicken, what kind of chicken? And I was like, it could be like Japanese curry chicken, it could be Indian curry chicken, it could be Thai curry chicken, although I'm not really a fan of Thai curry, because there's a lot of coconut, which I'm not a fan of. There's others. There's so many ways to do it. Pork, pog sounds similar. Coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence, because hog is is another name for pig, and hog is also similar to pog. And you know who else had pogs? Alf. Alf, he was kind of like a pig, sort of. He kind of had a similar snout. It really is not a coincidence, exactly. It was all predetermined. I like Thai curry. Well, I don't, okay? I'm not a fan of coconut. We've all established this. Coconut, not enjoyed by me. Yeah, we had other discussion. It was very rainy, though. Here he goes again, talking about the weather. It was a big deal, though. It was very rainy. Especially on Wednesday. When I was going home on Wednesday, the wind was really strong. It was raining a lot. I even had like a huge umbrella, and that umbrella was flipped over by the wind. You did not have Japanese curry before? Really? You should try it. It's good. It's got, you know, a chicken katsu curry. That's a good one. You could have many other types. I would say that Thai curry is the most common curry here. What is the second most? Hamflo hasn't had any curry. Hamflo has not done so many things. You ask him, you know, Hamflo, you ever like been on like a train or like a bus or like a plane? Ever have curry? He's like, nope. Indian curry? Yeah, Indian curry is there's so many good curries. I would say I would prefer Indian curry over Japanese curry, but Japanese curry would be a close second. There's just something about it. It's really good. And then other curries, I don't even know. What are some other curries besides Indian, Japanese, and Thai? What about American curry? Is there even American curry? I don't want to buy roux. I guess I can make it myself. You will rue the day. Okay, that's what people say. There's Vietnamese curry. That is true. It's also true. Whatever the English do. I mean, English curry is Indian curry. Right? It's like, I mean, like chicken tikka masala. Some people say it was invented in Britain or whatever. I guess, I don't know if I would count that as British. I mean, I guess it would. I don't know. So many options, you know? Curry? You got, what? You got Steph Curry. That's a guy who exists. Steph Curry. You got John Curry. That's probably a guy who exists. You got Haskell Curry. You got functional programming curry. We got Korea, you know, Korea. It's another curry. What more could you even want, right? So many options. Alright, let me look at the list of other things we talked about in that. You know, this is why you take notes, so that you remember things. Let's see, this was Tuesday. I'm up to Tuesday. I'm gonna be talking about my week. Tuesday, okay. I've scrolled down. Okay, we went to a restaurant. Prosciutto. There was prosciutto. We ordered a dish, and there was like, it was like prosciutto underneath. We all thought it was paper. This was actually kind of funny. There was like a dish that they had. I forgot what was on the dish, but prosciutto was underneath. And then we ate the food that was on top. And then underneath we're like, oh, that's just like, you know, like a paper, you know, to, you know, because sometimes you just put paper on the plate to absorb all the liquids or whatever. And then we ate it, and then it was left there, and then they're like, can we do you want me to take the plates? That's actually prosciutto on there. We're like, oh shoot, what? And then we had it, and it was good. Yeah, Tuesday, innit? Tuesday.init. You need to open a Coco Ichiban near me. Yeah, I had that when I was in Japan. It was pretty good. There was one that had like, say, chicken katsu, and then they had there was like an egg, and there was also like tartar sauce. And I remember very specifically when I went there, there was like one other person in the restaurant who we were sitting next to, and we were trying to order, and we were like having difficulty, and then he was like, oh, I actually speak English, and then we're like, oh, he was from Canada. Yeah, tartar sauce. He was from Canada, and then he helped us order. I mean, we didn't actually need his help, but like, we were like just deciding what to get, and he was like, oh, I've been here before. You can, you know, if you want to order this, you can do this one. It was good times. And then, you know, when I ordered the thing, and then the egg didn't come with it, we're like, wasn't this supposed to come with an egg? And then he's like, oh, let me ask for you. And then he helped us ask. It was included. It just came out later. Anyway, Coco Ichiban, pretty good. You could also try, if it exists, there's a place called Go-Go Curry. It exists in the US as well. It's affordable and good food. It is pretty good. Isn't that for fish? Well, in Japan, tartar sauce is used for things besides just fish. Have you heard of chicken nanban? It's like fried chicken with tartar sauce on it. It's actually pretty good. I would recommend it. It often comes with rice and like a miso soup or whatever. But those were good. A lot of good chickens out there. Anyway, sorry, what was I talking about? Prosciutto. Okay, and then we had a lot of like social questions, you know, the type of like icebreaker question. Everyone was like using AI. Do you know about this? People who work in the workforce nowadays, they're not the same as us. They have no issue just using AI for like answering general questions. Instead of like going to Google, they're like, oh, let me ask ChatGPT. And so, you know, my manager was like, oh, let me ask ChatGPT a list of social questions that we can talk about in this dinner. And there were some questions with thought-provoking, you know, questions. One such question, it's like the questions that's like, would you rather do this or this? If you could only do this for your life, what would you do? I already talked about the question that was like, you know, if you could only eat one type of meat for the rest of your life, what would it be? We also talked about, okay, there was a question that was like, would you rather have it so that every time you walk into a room, confetti would be like everywhere? They would, what's the term for it? Confetti like would pop whenever you walk into a room? Or would you rather have it so that every time you speak, there's a drum roll? And I was like, you know, those are both really annoying. But I was thinking, you know, it would be very annoying to have a drum roll every single time I speak. But then, like, confetti would also mean that, you know, you'd have to clean up every single time. What would you guys pick if you had to be forced to live with such a curse? What would you choose? I was not sure. I don't think I actually answered it. I feel like probably some people said confetti and hire cleaner. My manager was like, I would pick the confetti and then just bring like a small vacuum everywhere. So I feel like, especially as someone who like streams, I feel like if every time I talk there was a drum roll, it would be really annoying. And also it would always draw attention to myself, right? Because like, you know, maybe you want to just like talk to your friend in the park or something, and now everyone knows you're there. Enter an exit room for infinite material to sell. Yeah, but who's gonna buy it though? You think real people are gonna buy confetti from you? Then you would have to ship it somewhere. You'd have to handle like logistics and all that. It would certainly be an interesting gimmick. Yeah, but it would be so annoying. It's burn. Yeah, but then think about all the fossil fuels. Welcome, Delicious Smile. The drum roll starts a few seconds before you begin speaking. They didn't actually clarify. I guess, you know, it's up to interpretation. But then some people were like, yeah, what if I just, you know, I don't even talk that often. What if I just choose not to talk? And then we're like, that is, you know, we have a team full of engineers. This is where everyone's trying to find their way out of this. Just answer the question. It always happens. How's Friday going? I did not do any work today, I feel like. It was good. It was good times out there. And then, okay, one other question. Okay, so then it was like, well, okay, one of the questions I was asked, like, what is the best, most memorable food experience you had? And I was like, easy one. This is like when I went to Japan and I had Kobe beef. I don't even eat beef that often, but when I went there and I had Kobe beef, it ruined beef for me because every other beef is like awful in comparison. And then other people had their answers. How would you answer? If you could choose the best food you've ever had, it doesn't have to be like the food was great. It could be like the eating experience. You know, maybe the food was fine, but then, you know, there was like a performance or something. Has there been like a memorable food related thing for you all? Go to Costco and buy A5 Wagyu. I mean, I don't even know how to cook, so I feel like if I were to purchase A5 Wagyu, I would probably ruin it, right? I would probably not prepare it well enough. Probably Coco's in Hong Kong? What the? But that's a chain restaurant. Don't you know chain restaurants can't be the highest quality food? Unbelievable, man. This guy's choosing... Imagine someone choosing McDonald's? Wow, that's crazy. That or Korean barbecue? That's pretty good. Me when I don't eat at fancy restaurants. It doesn't have to be fancy, though. Is me gatekeeping. You're like, how dare you? Don't you know that your best food experience has to be a unique fine dining experience? Actually, a lot of them mentioned fine dining experiences. Welcome, Jax. Hello. I remember London has Coco's. Wait, actually, so you're talking about Coco. I was confusing. Okay, Coco Ichiban. Coco's is like a different restaurant. I totally forgot. Yes, Coco's and Coco Ichiban are two separate ones, but they're both the Japanese chains that exist. Coco's is like a family restaurant. Okay, Coco Ichiban, exactly. I don't really like restaurants. It's always expensive and I have no control over the outcome. What a strange thing to say. I hate restaurants. You just always cook then. Every time you go out to a restaurant, you're like, man, I wish I was cooking this myself. Coco's is an American brand like Denny's and Shakey's. Is it? I've never seen it in the US. I've only ever seen Coco's in Japan. Hey, is that real? Let me look it up. Coco's restaurant. Coco restaurant. Coco's bakery. What is this? It has the same logo. Coco's Bakery is a subsidiary chain of Sherry's Cafe and Pies. That's a different thing, though. Beaverton, Oregon? Is this related to Coco? Wait. Coco's Restaurant, Japan. Coco's Bakery. Japanese cuisine. No. Wait, is it real? Is it actually? I prefer cooking or buying trash food where I know what to expect. So you're telling me you've never had like a good restaurant experience? No, it's not, but also Sharius has been obliterated. I don't even know what that is. Welcome Alt Jakar. They have pies over here. Hold on. Coco's Bakery Restaurant. Coco's Bakery Restaurant. It does have the same logo. I did not know this was an American thing. Coco's Restaurant, Japan. Is that the same? Coco's Akihabara. Coco's Restaurant. Coco. Coco's JPN.co.jp. I guess it is then. I had no idea. It started in Orange County. Classic California moment. Had a few good ones even recently, but I don't dislike my own. Dislike just my own. Somewhat mid cooking. I see. Coco's Bakery is a subsidiary of Sherry's. They're both Oregon restaurant chains. But they expanded all the way to Japan. How did they do that? What would make them think to do that? You have a different menu. Probably the dinner we had at the Onsen Ryokan in Hakone. That sounds good. I've actually never been to an onsen. Well, a regular one. I guess I've been to like a hot spring, but it's not really like an onsen. Well, I don't know how to describe it. It was like there's a place that had like a pool. I guess it was kind of like an onsen. It wasn't. I don't think it was like a natural one though. Or maybe it was. I don't know. Something. My favorite food My favorite food ever is probably lasagna that your mom makes. That sounds good. What do they put in the lasagna? Chicken? What usually goes in lasagna? Is it like ground beef? In Japan, yes, it was in Japan. I have not been to a hot spring, even outside of Japan. I don't know. It was the one in Enoshima Spa. The question is whether that is really a hot spring. I don't know. Maybe it is. But it was nice. It was a nice place. Sorry, we were talking about, oh yeah, the best food experience. It was definitely, for me, it would definitely be Kobe beef. That was a nice time. Good time out there with the Kobe beef. Ground meat, tomato, cheese, usually with ricotta, mozzarella. You know that some people, they say mozzarella? That's like the proper way to say it in Italian or something? Mozzarella? You might even say mozzarella. I know because I've been watching YouTube shorts of a pizza place in New York. And they always say, hey, give me some of that fresh mozzarella. Yeah, put some fresh mozzarella on that. And that's how I thought. I was like, surely that's right. I technically have been to a hot spring, but the vibe is very different. Because we have Thermen in Germany. What does that mean? Thermen? Thermen. Isn't that the Uma? Is that the Uma Musa? Uma Thermen? Isn't that the instrument that you play that makes those like weird high-pitched sounds? Like you hover your hand over it. I wanted to try a hot spring, but too shy to be naked. Yeah, that's always, everyone's always self-conscious. It would make sense to be self-conscious as well. Thoughts on horse racing? That is in fact a thing that exists. Uma Musume is out there. Horse race tests, that's a thing that exists. Everyone's always drawn fan art of those horses racing. People have made fan games. VTubers are doing racing events similar to horse race. A lot of things to consider. Thermal baths would probably be the translation. Now, how is that different? Is it just like it's heated? An onsen and a therm are basically the same thing, but the minimum water temperature of the groundwater is higher for onsens. And is that an important distinction, though? If you showed this to someone who was in Japan, would they be like, that's an onsen? It's totally the same thing. I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. It could possibly be similar. You cook an egg? They wouldn't, because the culture surrounding it. Well, is the culture really like what makes it an onsen, though? Are you sure about that? Does onsen not literally just mean like a hot water thing or whatever? It's like how, like, you know, anime, if you say the word anime to someone in the US, they're like, oh, obviously it's Japanese anime. But if you say that to a Japanese person, they're just like, yeah, American cartoons, that's anime as well. I mean, hot thermal water is in many places. The Romans really like their hot thermal baths. Yeah, but then if a Japanese person went to Rome and they saw those thermal baths, would those not be an onsen? Would they not call that an onsen? I actually don't know. I actually do wonder. Like, is it a generic term, or is it like specific to like those types of onsens? And this is where you go, onsen. What about off-sen? What about the other sens? Huh? What about the intermediate state between on and off? Sen. I don't even know. It's impossible to know. Anyway, how did we get from food experience to onsen? Oh, right, because Deffin's mentioned he enjoyed a food thing that he had at an onsen. That was good. Alright, and then another... Well, okay, if I were to think of like a good food experience I've had besides Kobe beef, I wonder what I would say. I actually don't know. I don't think I've really had like a dining experience that I really thought was like that amazing. Like, you know, I'll have food and think like, that food was alright. That food was pretty good. But I've never been like, whoa, this is like the best food I've had. It's crazy. Besides Kobe beef. That's like the only thing. There was like one time, I guess like at work, one of the restaurants we went to as like a team, like, was apparently a Michelin star place, and I did not know until afterward. We were talking about that this past week. We're like, we went to a Michelin star restaurant, and I was like, what the? That place was Michelin star? And she was like, yeah, I could not tell from the interior. I thought it would be way fancier. Like, the food was fine. I just did not think it would be Michelin star. Time to see what the Japanese Wikipedia translates to. Gotta find out. We literally have to know. There's literally... Imagine not knowing. Could not even imagine. Has there been a fine dining? Not even fine dining. Well, there's like some like barbecue places that are nice. Looks like they talk about thermal bath culture in Europe and Japan. See, that's what I'm saying. You're like, they're different, but they're not different. It's just like a generic term. Possibly. It's like when you're like, they're actually, there's like different culture. The culture, well, I know the culture is different. Just the term onsen is not really, doesn't really have to refer to the culture, you know? Now it's all about semantics. You don't get naked in Germany. We only do it in the saunas. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's pretty uncommon to be fully naked in like one of those places outside of Japan, right? Are there other places that like do that? I actually don't know. I feel like we don't really have that many hot springs like in the US, right? I don't usually hear about people like going to places and going like, oh, we're gonna, you know, do some hot spring tours or whatever. Or maybe they do exist and I just don't know about it. Does anyone even know? Anyone been to like a hot spring in the US? Do they even exist? Surely they do, right? I don't know. It's probably a thing that exists in places. Anyway, some other questions that we had discussed. There's one question that they had that was like, if someone was visiting your hometown, what restaurants would you recommend to them? Or like what kind of food? And I was like, well, you know, I'm a New Yorker, so everyone would just say pizza. I said pizza, you know, because that's what you expect. Whenever someone goes to New York, they're like, you gotta try the pizza. For sauna, a fascinating reworked world map reveals what people wear in sauna. 48-1688477390001.jpg. I would imagine that is a fascinating reworked map of some kind. Sauna etiquette around the world. A guide to what to wear in the sauna. Sauna etiquette key. Go nude, bring a towel, wear swimwear, no data available. So in the US it says, wear swimwear. Canada, bring a towel. I see. A lot of distribution here. A lot of zoomed in areas. Every traditional German/Bavarian place in my village. Close to? Is that what you would recommend to someone visiting? Closed? What? Why are they closed? We want to shop. But yeah, I said I would say pizza. And they're like, of course. And then I talked about, you know, they were like, yeah, pizza makes sense. It's hard to get like really bad pizza in New York. And I talked about how like one of my friends visited New York and we had dollar pizza and he was like, this is the best pizza I've had like in my life. And I was like, really? This is like dollar pizza. He was like, yep, it was actually better than any pizza that I've had. And I was surprised. But I guess it's not that uncommon, you know? Maybe pizza in other places is just so bad. I've just been spoiled by having access to high quality pizza. People, you know, they'll go to like Pizza Hut. They'll go to other places. And I don't know how good I have it. I did also have pizza yesterday. There was like a work event yesterday as well, because you know it's like a week-long thing, and we had a lot of different types of food. I took home 2 slices of pizza, and I had them today as leftovers, and it was pretty good. It had garlic knots as well, some pepperoni. It was very thin though, but it was fine. It was still very filling. And then other questions that we had. Other questions we talked about. There's one question that I knew how to answer, but I did not want to say. There's like, at the dinner, we were like, okay, what's one thing that you think you've done that no one else at this table has done? And in my mind, I was like, there's so many things. I could talk about like VTubers and like, you know, making animations and art, and I was like, I do not want to mention this because then this will bring up more questions. I know for a fact that no one there has, you know, made influential animations like for companies in Japan, but I was like, I'm not saying that. So I was like, I don't know, I can't really think of anything. VTubing? No, I didn't want to say that. Streaming? I'm pretty sure no one there has streamed. I did not say that, but it's like, I don't know. I think I just did not answer the question. I was like, yeah, let me think about that. And then I think they forgot that I didn't answer the question. I draw, yeah, but then they would ask to see my drawings. They're like, what, you draw, can we see? And then it's like, no, no, it's fine. Dodging the question. Right? And then people start talking about their like injuries they had as a kid. And they're like, oh, when I was a kid, I almost died. I was like, oh, frick. I almost drowned. I died, you know, I fell down and my bone got dislocated and all that. And really, that's hard to follow. I've definitely never done that. Imagine if someone at the table was a VTuber in secret. That would actually be so funny. If like, if a company meeting, not a meeting, but like a company dinner, people had that question, and then someone was like, oh, I'm definitely sure no one here has been a VTuber. And then someone was like, oh, actually, do I reveal that I'm actually a VTuber? And then what if they reveal it and then they find out that they actually know each other as VTubers? Wouldn't that's like a light novel. They're like, that time that I found out that my coworker was also a VTuber that I had collaborated with or whatever. Yeah, manga plot. That'd actually be funny. Counter, I like to doodle and then you draw a chibi. No, because then, I don't know, like other artists, I think you can relate to this. Is that it is like when you reveal to someone that you draw, they're always like, oh, can you draw me? Can you draw this thing? And it feels like it's too stressful. I would rather not, right? Then they're like watching you draw and you're like, you know, I don't normally draw with many people watching me. As a kid, I ate sand, and then there's this animator on the internet animated me eating sand. Why would they think to mention the animator, though? You think people would do that? They're like, I did this thing, and someone drew me doing it. No, they would just talk about themselves doing it. I think this sometimes happens in real life. Like at work. People mentioning that they're VTubers. People finding out their coworkers are VTubers. And it's crazy. I wonder if there's like other VTubers at my company. I feel like if there were, I don't think I would be surprised. I also, I don't know, I'd be like, I don't know. Would I expect there to be VTubers at my company? We do have a lot of people, so statistically. And also people have uploaded VTuber like emoji on the Slack. I feel like it is possible that I'm not the only one. Huge fan of this artist called Wolfie. So true. Whatever happened to that guy? He used to draw so much and now I don't even know what he does. He fell off. He hasn't drawn anything in forever. It's crazy. Yeah, we talked about that. I did not reveal any information about myself. That was fine. You know, other people mentioned stuff. They were like, pretty sure no one's had this food before. You know, no one has had this specific dish from China, from this specific region that I live. And everyone was like, that is so true. I've never had that. I bet none of you have ever died. Amogus. Person in their 20s, 30s that work in IT, huge chance they are VTubers or at least watch them. I think it's possible. Actually, I think everyone on my team is like, they're either married or have or also have children. I guess and or they are married and possibly have children. I think I'm like the only one that's like not. It's like they were talking about how, you know, oh, it's so nice to, you know, have this work trip and then I don't have to like babysit my kid all the time. It was just nice to relax and not have to worry about my kid. And then another person like, so true, yeah, it's so true. It's so hard to leave my kids at home because then I'm not sure. But now that I'm on, you know, on this trip, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just there like, ah, so true. I cannot relate at all. My team lead had his second child reach 4 weeks. He's going through the ringer. Imagine, though. I feel like if I had a kid, it would be dropped off at my parents quite often. I think it makes sense. A lot of times, you know, parents, it depends on the stage in life they are, but, you know, if they're, like, retired, a lot of times they'll just, like, they'll have nothing else to do. They will look forward to it. They'll be like, oh, I'd love to see my grandchild. And then, you know, you just bring your child over and they're like, sure, I will take care of your child for you. In fairness, I literally grew up at my grandparents. I also did. That was a thing that happened as well to me. And I turned out totally fine. And that's why I'm now a VTuber. Streaming online to tens of people, possibly. Maybe not tens. At least 5 people. At least 5 people are watching this stream right now. Possibly at least 2 people are watching this stream. At least 7 people are watching this stream. Well, I guess if you had to answer the question, what is one thing that you think that you've done that no one else in this chat has done? Do you think you could name something? You could definitely name something. Like, I already named mine, you know. Art for VTubing agencies, etc. But it was like, if it was not, yes, if anyone in this chat cosplayed Majima, he does do that. I've been elected student representative in university. I have also not done that. And it can't be just like a generic one, like, oh, I've been to this specific place in my city that whatever. Right, it has to be like something a bit more like specific. You're like, when I was not answering the question, they were like, "Oh, you could just say like, you know, I was born in New York," and I was like, "That's so obvious, though. I already know that's like too easy. I already know that no one on this team was born in New York." And they're like, "This engineer just trying to think of, you know, the optimal solution." It's true. It is so true. What about that time that I fell on ice while ice skating? Actually, probably a lot of people have done that. Technically, I have as well, but there was no contest, so I won by default. Oh, look at that. You're not even unique anymore. Top 500 world on a ladder in Pokemon Showdown. This guy is top 100? What the heck? That's nice. What if someone on my team was like, I'm actually like the top ranked League of Legends player or whatever. I'm actually the top ranked Candy Crush Saga player in the world. I'm like, what the heck? Like, actually, I'm the best Cookie Run player. What's it called? Cookie Run Kingdom. Avoid that person. What if someone was like, I'm rank 100 in League of Legends. I was high enough on the list to basically be in it safe. Dance politics. Let's gamble on this one instead. Gamble. You see that tweet about Mori saying she'll play League if she reaches 3 million subs by end of year? I did see that, and I also kind of don't care. League of Legends? Why do I care if a streamer plays League of Legends? People on Twitter saying they're unsubbing for the year. Imagine League of Legends, though. I've been involved in hiring a professor at my university. How? How so? What does that mean? Did you interview them? Is that a thing that happened? I don't care either, but folks unsubbing is funny. Are they actually unsubbing, or are they just saying that they would? Because it would actually be funny if they actually did it. And if it was actually like a notable decrease in their sub count, it would actually be pretty funny. What is something else that I could name that is not related to like me doing art online or like VTubing? That's I don't think anyone else in the chat has done. Oh, okay, I know one. It's like I have. Oh, I could have said that as I could have said this at work. I could have said I have a journal that I've kept for like at least 10 years, and that I could, if you named a day, I could tell you what I was doing on that day. That's a thing that I do, that I'm definitely sure no one else here does. Imagine playing League of Legends. Professor hiring committees require student representatives. I have been involved in an interview process. I see. So I have not though. So that would be valid. Log seek. Oh yeah, I should drink water. Classic Stanley. Always smiling or sending some kind of emoji. On the hour. Sometimes a minute late. Okay, I'm gonna drink water now. Alright, I have successfully hydrated. Another thing. What is another thing that I could name? Wait, other people here have done electrical engineering, right? I cannot say that I'm the only electrical engineer here. True. That is not a thing that I can claim. What about, I don't know. Making games. I feel like some of the student rep stuff is not that common. Maybe. You can claim a project. I feel like then it's too easy, right? You're like, I've worked on a Grand Blue Raid Finder application or whatever. I played Maple Story when I was a kid. Well, okay, never mind. A lot of people have done that. So it needs to be something that's like, that can be applicable to many people. But not. Handflow didn't? Well, what would you say then? You had to choose something. I guess no, you could just say like, oh, I've never like had curry before. You could just say I've never been on a train or a plane or a bus or had curry. Let's check this one. I've been to the Chaos Communication Congress. I have in fact not been to that. I want some minor magic tournament at my local game store. Well, that's like so specific though, to your local game store. I guess if you said like in general that you have won a local tournament. Oh, I could have said this one, that I was like a spelling bee district champion at some point. I should like write down a list of like things about myself. If those topics ever come up, I can remember like, oh yeah, when I was in this grade, I was, you know, a district champion for some district or something. And now you're like, oh, let's find all the districts in New York. Find all the districts, all the spelling bee champions from any year. Just dox him right now. I wonder if it could be done. If someone could find out my personal information from this. Just go through every name and be like, "This could it be this guy? Could it be this person?" Amplo can just say that he uses mountain time and it might work. It is true, not a lot of people here are in mountain time. You kind of don't want to. Chatter does not want to dox the streamer. Unbelievable. Can't believe he would not want to find out personal information about streamer that he watches. Actually, this is when he goes, actually, I did dox a streamer once, so they were revealing personal information. His last name is Washington. Oh, was Washington. I said Washington. Wolfington. But one time I tried to dox my physics teacher's birthday. What does that mean, though? Is that not like information that they want to be known? Were they like trying to keep it a secret so that people don't celebrate their birthday? Oh, that was another question that was asked. What do you do on your birthday? And I was like, I don't usually like celebrating my birthday. That thankfully someone else on my team was like, I also don't like celebrating my birthday. I'm gonna note this down. What do you do on your birthday? Yes. They didn't want it to be known? Did they say that? Were they like, I would not want to make a big deal? I searched for all his public socials and web info and didn't find. You were stalking the teacher. This guy's out here trying to cyber stalk his professor or whatever. Teacher. Does anyone do that? Has anyone like looked up information of their teachers and found anything weird? You're like, I wonder what this teacher was working on. Actually, I was recommended a YouTube video the other day. There's like someone who was like, I found out that my teacher was like a famous YouTuber. And I could not tell because her in-class lectures were not very inspired. But when I watched her videos on YouTube, it was like, you know, it actually helped me understand the topic. It was an interesting video. Saw that video as well. I think it was probably like trending or something. Friended some teachers on Facebook. Are you still friends with them? Do they still post on Facebook? I told him I tried. He showed me his car. His license plate had his birthday on it. What? That's a thing? They just put your birthday on your license plate? Storytime YouTubers come back. Has anyone else been recommended? There's like this one channel on YouTube where like all they posted was like a video that was like, hey guys, I'm gonna make videos about my life now. And then that like trended somehow, and then they made another video that's like, well, I guess I'm popular on the algorithm. And then it's like they had like 100,000 subscribers before even telling a story on their videos. And then they posted their first real story and like everyone loves it. Does anyone know who I'm talking about? I was like, this is so weird. How did they master the algorithm like this? You can get anything on your license plate, you have to actually register it. Well, I wouldn't know, because I don't have a car. My favorite storytime VTuber, Wolfie Wolfington, who hasn't posted a storytime on YouTube in a while. It's not a story, though. Like, storytime, I feel like storytime YouTubers are like, they're like pre-scripted stuff, you know? The stuff that I post on my clip channel is like stuff, it's just, you know, I talk about it on my stream, which I have not done in a while because I've been into game development. You know, it takes time to do that stuff. It takes time to make those videos. The essence is similar. No, it's not, though. Have I actually told a story? It's not even a story, though. It's like a hypothetical one. It's like, what if this thing? Storytime is like, this is real events. This is like a real thing that happened. You can put 2 letters and 4 numbers on your plate in Germany. Does anyone have a custom license plate? Does anyone know someone with a custom license plate? What would they even put on it? Something related to their interests. Have you seen the Twitter account that posts various license plates? They add if they've been rejected. Yes, I have seen that one. Isn't it the one from like California or something? California license plates with rejection. Is that the DM? What's it called? Direct message. The DMV. Canada, not Canada. California DMV. Yes. That is in fact an account that exists. It is true. It does happen. What else was I saying? What else was I saying? Oh yeah, a birthday, things you've done that no one else has done, hometown, best food experience. And there was one question that was like, if for the rest of your life, if you could have the ability to teleport but only go to places that you've been, or be able to fly but only at the speed that you walk at. I was like, and then they made it more specific. I was like, I would choose teleporting because that would make so much, it would be so easy. But then they were like, oh, but then does that mean that you can't ever go back to places, or you can't ever go to new places? And I was like, is that not, that's not really what the question is asking, right? But everyone interpreted as meaning like, well, now you can't go to places that are new anymore. And I'm like, I don't think that's what the question is asking. Well, it's easy then. I could just go to some place once, and then I could, you know, since I've been there, I can then teleport back there. And you're like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't know if that counts or whatever. It's very, very much up to interpretation. But, you know, I feel like being able to teleport to places I've been would be so useful because I only ever go to the same places. You know, I could go to work. I could just go to whatever. Just go to work. Just go home. Teleport immediately. Flying at walking speed can be convenient, but it doesn't cut commute time, right? Like, where would you go by flying that you would not be able to, like, I don't know, just like walk to or whatever? It's like if you've been there once, but if you choose teleporting, if you've ever been there once, you can always go back. So it's like, you know, you just walk up those stairs and now you can teleport there. It's like no question about it for me. You're like, oh, what if I used it to, like, you know, I could teleport onto my roof, or I could fly up to my roof or whatever. Well, you could also just take a ladder and go up there once, and now you have access forever. I don't know. A lot of things to consider. Flying at walking speed sounds great if you live in a car-centric hellscape with highways and no crosswalks. Yeah, but it's like if you cross the street once, you could always teleport back there, right? So like, why? I would teleport into my ex's bedroom. Some guy probably. Why would they do that? Why would they even consider that? Why would Zoe even say that? Because they were you're making up a guy to be mad at. It's not even a real guy. Like, oh, wouldn't it suck if some guy said that they would do... Is that Among Us? You see that? You see that up there? Is that freaking Among Us? It's literally Among Us. I'm making up a guy, but it would be very funny if he existed. No, it would be terrible if he existed. He thinks it would be so funny. I don't think it'd be funny. I think it would be an intrusion of privacy, actually. I think it would be awful. Let me go through my list of things that we talked about. Another thing that happened is a Discord free trial just started for me automatically. I'm sure everyone here is already a Discord Nitro user because I know you all. You always post things on Discord that indicate that you have Discord Nitro. I'm like one of the few people that doesn't. But now, you know, I've been like avoiding it. They're always like, oh, give us your credit card information and we'll give you like 3 months free or whatever. And I never do it because I'm like, I know I can get it for free, but then you got to remember to cancel it. And then, you know, what if you cancel it early, then you don't get access. You got to wait until the last minute. And it's like, I don't want to go through the hassle. I don't think it's even worth it for the trial. But I think they were like, oh, not enough people are signing up for the trial. Let's just give it to people for free without even requesting payment information. Without even like confirming that you want it. They're just like, well, you have it now. And I was like, alright, I guess I have this now. And now I can post animated emotes for a week. Wow. Now you may even see new emotes that I will post that you have never seen me post before. Because I've never been able to. And then I'm pretty sure what they want is, you know, for people to have a taste of it, and then they're like, oh, wait a second, it's so good, I can post these, now I can, you know, maybe I want to buy it now. It does not make me want to buy it. I still don't think it's worth it. There's like nothing, I'm fine posting just like static images, and I don't need the animated emotes. Be careful to not be addicted. Addicted to sending animated emoji on Discord? No. Definitely not. It is nice, but I don't think it's worth the money. You know, clearly you all disagree because you all pay for it. Even though I could definitely afford it, right? That's the thing. The cheaper tier of Discord Nitro, honestly, is affordable to me, but like, I just don't want it. God Wolf, you were probably not Discord when they... What? You're probably not on Discord when they still had better Twitch TV integration. Did they had that? How does that even work? Welcome Nanodan, like the blue creature? What? Where? What blue creature? What is bro talking about? What is Unk talking about? That's what people say nowadays. Unk. Such a strange word. It just means uncle, but it sounds so weird. Stitch. Oh, the blue. Oh, Lilo and Stitch. I see. I understand. I am aware of this reference. I am aware of this creature, Stitch. From the Disney property, Lilo and Stitch. Yes, of course, of course. They did have better Twitch TV integration, and then they got rid of it. Aren't they going public? Didn't they announce that they're going public? And then everyone's like, ah, oh, what the frick? They're gonna make the service so much worse than it already is. You can see it's gonna happen. They're gonna be trying to maximize their profit and revenue at the expense of their users. They're gonna start pushing monetary schemes onto people. Does Wolfie remember Lilo, Linux Loader? No, I don't know what that is. Appreciate that you felt like being Mario today. It's because I'm gonna play Mario Picross after this. It is a Stitch and Picross stream. We haven't had one of those in a while. And the reason I had it was because, you know, usually Wednesdays are my chatting streams. But since I was not streaming this Wednesday, I was like, well, I need a stream to like talk about stuff. Welcome, So Karoy. And I was like, well, it should be Friday then. And then it's like, I'm not going to play web fishing on Friday, right? Web fishing has got to be a Wednesday thing. And then I said, well, maybe I can play Stitch and Picross. Welcome, Yurga. A note on better TTV integration with Discord. Here's the announcement of them getting rid of it. So true. See any cool rats recently? No, I have not seen. Actually, I have not seen a rat in a while in real life, which is surprising to me. I would have imagined that I would have seen at least one rat, given that I've been outside 3 days this week, and yet not even a single rat has been seen. The rats aren't winning the war on rats. Well, I don't know. They're still out there. It's older than grub. People were abusing it by making tiny Twitch channels and end up being a bother to the BTTV people. I don't know. I still find it strange that everyone depends on a third-party plugin for functionality on a website. It's like pretty much expected that you have it installed. Or that or 7TV. Or Frankerface or whatever. I just think it's strange. Like other websites don't have this thing, right? Why is Twitch so specific that they have this thing where people are just expected to install a plugin, a third-party plugin, to use a website? Are there other websites like that where like users tend to always have some third-party script installed that can modify all your data in the chat in your on the page. YouTube chat be like, install this plugin to not lag. Yeah, but I feel like it's uncommon for people to install it. Technically a bad thing. On the other hand, it's actually more beautiful. Yeah, sure love to have a third party just be able to modify all of my things on a website. Surely no one will. There's no security implications of this. I don't know. Surely not. User CSS. Flash. I remember back on Tumblr there was one extension that everyone used for better reply. Oh wait, I think I probably used that one as well. That sounds familiar to me. I have not used Tumblr in a while, but I feel like I might have used that one. That is true. Tumblr is really bad. Their website is missing so much basic functionality. Yo, look at this. Wow. Yeah, that's what it was, the missing E. That's because like Tumblr, you know, they're missing the letter E. Tumblr without the E in it. Yeah, it does sound familiar. I don't have FFZ installed as an add-on anymore. I just use it as a user script. This guy's using the scripts. Alright, it's Mario Picross time. Mario's... No, their end user license agreement. What the? Can we get like patch notes? Does anyone know what they changed? I agree. I'm just. Oh, he didn't even read it. Oh no, he didn't even read the policy. He just agreed to it. Wow. Oh, Nintendo. The difference is they can brick your Switch if you install custom firmware. What, for the updates? Alright, it's Mario time. Mario's Picross. Alright. The Eula Genshin Impact, that is a character in Genshin Impact. I was like, since I did not really know Genshin Impact and that character came out, I was like, why did everyone care about the end user license agreement? You're telling me that people are, you know, it's a big deal to them? I'm like, oh, it's a character. If you install, also welcome Hoppy Hollow. If you install custom firmware for the Switch, they're allowed to brick it or something. Oh. Well, I didn't know. I was not aware. Wow, remember this game? Remember this game, guys? I remember. Back in the custom firmware 3DS days, you wouldn't update before people told you it is safe. Imagine updating firmware. Imagine updating things in places. Consumer protection policies or whatever. Anyway, things are happening. Various things. You see that Darth Vader is in Fortnite, and also he's like AI voice generated. You see that? That's a thing that's happening. And people are getting him to say strange things. Things that may be against TOS. Yeah. Okay, wait, I forgot. I was talking about the Hack Week or whatever, hackathon at work. So many projects are all like about AI nowadays. They're like, hey, we use an LLM to, you know, we do this thing. We use an LLM for this thing. I'm like, man, I was like one of the few teams that did not have anything like AI related. And that is the state of the world nowadays. Everyone is, you know, they're introducing AI in their software. I'm like, oh, we gotta add AI. Did an LLM thing win? I feel like all the top ones were like AI related. So, yes, no, yes, an LLM thing. Yes, something related to AI LLMs did win. I was like, I don't know. That's life. That society, was it deserving? I mean, it was pretty interesting actually. It wasn't like, you know, generating. Well, okay, I can't give too much details because then you'll be like, wait a second, you works at this place? No. I mean, it was a pretty interesting use case. It wasn't just like, you know, generating slop. It was like, you know, it solved the real problems. It's like, I feel like me as someone who doesn't tend to use AI for stuff, the one thing that I do actually use AI for is like a thing at work where they index all like the internal company documents like Google Docs and like, you know, FAQ pages that we have internally. So if you ask it a question that's like, oh, how do we handle this thing in the code base or whatever, they'll be like, okay, based on this Google Doc, we can determine that this person worked on it, and you can run these commands or whatever. Right, that is a lot more useful than just having to look through a bunch of documents manually. That's like the only thing I use it for, is like company specific knowledge. But you know, other people use it for like generating code. Some people use it for like generating images. Yeah, finding a relevant document. Stuff like that. I think those are useful use cases for it. The kind where they're just like generating images and like other stuff, I don't know. That's not for me. Here's how I handle AI. Under a brand account, have the prompt generate a new video announcement themed exactly how I need it. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Brand account, generate a new video announcement for what? What does he mean by this? That's AI. Anyway, they did ask, like, hey, of the people in the audience, how many of you use AI in your day-to-day work? And like, so many people raised their hand. People just don't care. Have it handle the announcement for social media? What? Wait, what announcement though? A new video? What? Speaking of jobs I still haven't applied, well, you could do that right now. You could be applying to jobs at this exact moment. Imagine watching a stream. Whatever I want, new videos, new blog update. But like, what about what? I don't understand. Generate a new video announcement? Like you're generating videos? Or what? I don't know. People are in fact doing things. Okay, so this is the 6 is right there. The marketing. So like you have a new video that's out and you're like, check it out everyone, here's the new video. How did you decide what kind of job you wanted to do the first time you applied to a real job? That's the thing, I didn't. I just got lucky. My first real job was just, I procrastinated so hard. I talked about this. Is when I was in college, you know, typically the time that people find internships and stuff like that, they've all applied in advance, and you know, by the time summer rolls around, they have like an internship lined up. I did not do that. I just saw like a sign on the bulletin board or whatever. One of my professors he was making a startup, and I was like, okay, I got nothing else to do. And so I was like, can I join your startup? And he was like, yeah. Okay, and then I just got in, and then that's how I got my first job. And then after university, I just joined the company. And then that company did consulting for another company. And so that company I was already working there, you know, as a contractor or whatever. And then they're like, we would like to hire you. And I was like, all right. And then I worked there. And then after that, the next company was the CTO of the company that I worked for left to go to another company. And then he was like, hey, you want to work here? And I was like, all right. And then I worked there. And then after that, well, then after that, then I worked there for 7 years, and then I went to another company, and then I got laid off, and then I worked for this company, and that's pretty much it. I think I just got lucky with my first few jobs. Something, you know, it's life. Wolfie Lord, this has all been talked about before. This is existing information. You should have been taking notes. You're telling me you don't know this? You don't know every single fact about the streamer? Unbelievable. It was, just didn't connect it. Well, now you know. Yeah, people have the gall to be in chat and not know every single fact about the streamer. Unbelievable. Are you even a real fan if you can't name every single fact that the streamer has ever said in the entirety of their streaming career? I'm just kidding. What if someone took this seriously? They're like, he really thinks that everyone would pay attention. He is so self-centered that he would think everyone cares. It's crazy. A new startup at uni and Wolfie doing Scala. Wolfie being laid off, Wolfie new company. Yes, those are things, yes. Consultancy post-uni one was new. Oh, the startup, yeah, it was the same company. Anyway, it was good. It was fun times. Sorry, what else was I talking about? We were talking about various things. I didn't even get through the entire, like, last 3 days. Okay, so we did the Hack Week presentations or whatever. I had some good ice cream yesterday, actually. It was actually quite good. They had this thing where they, like, blowtorch. They had, like, meringue or what. I didn't even know what meringue is. But they had a thing, they would have ice cream and they put this, like, sweet thing on it and then they would use a blowtorch. It tasted quite good. And then I had pizza. Oh, they also had like this, you know, if anyone works at this company, you can probably identify where I work. They had a lockpicking thing, a lockpicking event. You can learn how to lockpick. I was successful in lockpicking 2 locks. They were very simple locks. But, ooh, soap bubbles. They had like one clear lock where you could see through, so you can sort of like determine where the pins are. And then I solved that one, and I was like, I'm not really sure like what I'm doing, but I did it. And then there was a simple lock that I think was just 2. What are the things called in locks? Has anyone done lock picking? They're just like the things that are like pins. What are they? Pins? The tumbler and the pin? I don't know, I think it had 2 pins. It was quite simple. And then after that I had many discussions with my coworkers for a long time, for at least 2 hours. Talked about various things. I had a good time socializing with coworkers. This is the kind of thing where like I feel like I did not care about socializing with my coworkers after work at previous companies I worked at. Because, like, you know, whenever there was, like, a company event, they would go to, like, a bar or something. And I would be like, I don't really want to go. Or they would have, like, a celebration, like a Christmas party or whatever. I would never go to those. And yet, I think maybe it's because it took place, like, in the office. Because, like, I didn't need to leave the office. Well, okay. They've had events outside the office that I've also been to. Maybe it's because, like, I actually... Maybe it's because I don't have to be in the office 5 days a week. I feel like that's what it is. Because, like, when you're in the office 5 days a week, you're like, I don't want to be here longer than I have to be, right? But then since I only need to be in the office 2 times a week, it's like, I don't mind staying afterward, right? It's like, I'm not in the office that often. The food is pretty good, you know, the people are nice. And it was a good time. And I didn't really need to, like, go that far. Do people get weirdly jealous about remote workers or something? Is it weird to be jealous of remote workers? Or is that expected? We did talk about how like it is unfair that I have to go to the office. Like, it's kind of messed up that you have to go to the office despite the fact that your entire team is remote. And also your commute is 1 hour long. I'm like, yep, that's me. Is there a reason? This is the internets, but also people. People are weird. Do people get weirdly jealous about remote work? I mean, I don't think it's weird to be jealous. I think that everyone should strive to have remote work be accepted. He talked about how like one of my coworkers had like he had a friend whose wife worked at Amazon or something, and then they implemented return to office, and then she had to quit her job because they were not able to accommodate her, because like she literally just like could not do it in time, and they're like, oh well, you have to leave then. Also, welcome Gex. Remote work causes your house to be a bit more messy. What is my favorite plant? If you were to garden, what will you plant? I don't know if I have a favorite plant. Is that do you have a favorite plant? Does anyone here have a favorite plant? What would it be? What if someone said weed? Like, ah, weed, dude. No. The common nestle? I would never relocate for a job. What if it was like in a really nice place though, and they were offering to pay for it? What then? What about that? But yeah, I don't think I would relocate for a job as well. I like living in New York. It is a convenient place. Because like most places, if I had to relocate to most places, I would probably need to get a car. Because you know, there are not that many places in America that, you know, they have like buses and trains that are good. There's like a few places, you know, maybe like Seattle has good public transport, but like I don't want to move to Seattle, right? I don't know. It's not for me. I have a license? What, a driver's license? No, I do not know how to drive. And I will never know how to drive. There's literally no reason for me to drive. And then some people, they're like, well, what about one day? What if you do need to drive one day? I'm like, no. I do not have any interest in driving ever. License? Oi, bro, you got a license for that. Car drama is entirely part of it. Every time I have work to do, I need personal transportation. It's always something in the middle of nowhere. Need personal transportation. Yeah, imagine needing a car. I don't think this is getting a car problem then. Yes it is. Even if I had a license, I would not want to relocate because then I would need a car. It has nothing to do with me not knowing how to drive. Nobody drives in New York? Yeah, there's too much traffic. That's why no one drives, because everyone drives. You would think with their ability to be somewhere remote and hard, they could actually understand the issues people have getting to and from work, but no. Now they do understand, they just don't care, right? They're just like, well, we paid for the office lease, so obviously people need to use the office, otherwise we're not getting the office utilization rates. Did they make those pricing zones for driving? What's the status? I've not paid attention. Because as someone who does not drive, it does not concern me. I mean, it does concern me in the sense that now I have more, like, ability to walk on the street, I guess. But, like, I have not really kept track. This is why Wolfie will become a biker? A motorcyclist? No. I don't need no motor vehicles. They care when a whole bunch of stuff is staged for offload, then sits and rots because someone was a no-show. Well, that's specific to whatever your job is. I don't really know what it is. We got 2, we got a 6. It's right there. Should I get a license? Because some jobs for engineers require it. I don't think some jobs require. I guess it depends what kind of engineering. Mid column does 7. Middle column does 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it does have to go here. True. I've not really been paying too much attention to the puzzle. The puzzler. The puzzler. It seems like the main issue every co has is getting and keeping people. I don't know what you mean by like a bunch of stuff is staged for offload, then sits and rots because someone was a no-show. Stuff staged for offload, what does that mean? If you have to do some maintenance, it would make a lot of sense to have one. Driving? Shipping? What? What is? I'm aware you meant. I do know that you're talking about shipping, but like when I said it's specific, I just mean I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what's happening. Things are going on out there. What am I saying? Remote work. What else did I talk about at work? We talked about like working at large companies versus small ones. And I had a coworker who I guess has only really worked for large companies. He was like, I worked at Amazon, and then after that I worked at Facebook, and then I went back to Amazon. And I was like, I don't really think I would ever work for a big company, like Google or Facebook or Amazon or whatever. And they were like, why though? They're so good, you get to learn so much. And then I said, well, I feel like I have more influence. I feel like I could get to learn more in smaller companies. And they're like, is that true though? Because like, you know, I worked at this place and I learned how they did it. You could do it the right way. If you work at a small company, they don't have those safeguards put in place. But yeah, but then you get to learn why those safeguards are necessary, because you do it wrong and then you know how to do it right. It's trial by fire. There's a lot of things that are handled for you by teams. You know, at big company, you'll have like a team dedicated to working on this one thing, and then you don't have to worry about it because they're worried about it. But then, you know, then you'll never get to know. You'll never get to learn about, you know, monitoring a Kubernetes cluster because some team already has that set up. This is so relatable, guys. You're like, whoa, this guy's talking about the relatable content. I totally get it. This is why we watch the stream, because he's always talking about this. It is relatable. So true. No, what? Oh, I thought there were 3 threes for some reason. I don't know why I thought. Oh, because I was looking at this column. Oh, man. I meant to put that in this column. Well, it's fine. Anyway, let me check my notes again. Did some lockpicking, talked about the ice cream, talked about the AI presentations. We talked about stock options, that's a thing. We talked about how if you work for a startup that is not public on the stock market yet, that stock options are pretty much worth nothing. And this all links back to Discord, how they're going to go public. Welcome, Gizzo11. How are you doing on this day? On this fine day that is Friday. Today is fine day in California. You might think he says Friday, but I'm pretty sure he meant fine day. It's Friday, and that makes no sense. Stocks. I was like, do you sell your stocks, your company stocks immediately? And he's like, no, I always hold on to them. And then I'm always disappointed when it goes down. And I was like, I have it set up so that they sell immediately. And you're like, wait, I should do that. I should do that. I should be selling my stocks. That's a good idea. You should, if your company pays you in some form in RSUs, you should sell them immediately, as fast as possible. As if not, what are you doing? You gotta diversify your portfolio, man. Some people, they're not even doing that. Imagine not diversifying your portfolio. Imagine. Anyway, what else did I talk about? Talk about other stuff. They had karaoke. I saw some people singing karaoke in a room. I did not sing karaoke, but I did see people do it. Okay, we got 3, we got 8. The 8 goes up to there. It goes up to here even. Does anyone even do a work karaoke? Like when your company has like a party where they have karaoke available, does anyone even do that? I could not imagine doing karaoke with my coworkers. I guess that's probably a thing that happens in Japan, right? People do probably do that in Japan because they do have those mandatory office parties. Like you have to go to the bar to drink, even if you don't want to. Surely they have the same thing for karaoke, right? But you know, in the US, they do that sometimes as well. They got karaoke. We usually play board games instead. I think that's probably also a thing. Things like that make me realize English is so weird. In what way? Like having karaoke? Like English, like the language? England. Karaoke. True. That karaoke is different. This is when you go, actually, it's actually karaoke, not karaoke. Actually, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's not actually karaoke. But it is. It is in some ways. Back to the classic Mario's Picross. Welcome, Abyss Hunted. Picross is famous. Everyone loves Picross. Everyone's always showing up being like, Wolfie, when are you gonna play Picross? No one actually does this. But imagine though if we had people every day being like, Wolfie, when's the next Picross? Looking forward to the next Picross. And then I don't play Picross and they're like, where's Picross? I followed specifically for Picross. You're telling me he's not playing Picross anymore? It's from everybody. Are you though? Oh yeah, name every person, huh? Are you really everybody? If you can't name every single person out there. Not a big Picross fan, but Mario's Picross aesthetic is just that good. Yeah, it's good. You got the archaeology thing going on. What do you think this is? A bicycle? A motor bicycle? Karaoke? True. So true. Karaoke? Hey guys, it's karaoke. 1, Wolfie, 2, me, 3, Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of Mario. I'll get back to you on the rest. That's only 3 people. Do you ever hear people sing things at karaoke, and then you're reminded of VTubers that you've seen sing it before? Is that a thing? Because like there are some songs that I only know because I've heard a VTuber sing it at a karaoke. Yes, right? And like I'm not that familiar with a lot of English songs, so like, you know, I don't even know some of the classics. But there are some that like as soon as I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, Amelia Watson sang this one. Like whenever there's like, you know, those ska songs, I'm like, that's an Amelia Watson classic. I think that happened yesterday. There was like a song that came on and I was like, wait, I know a VTuber sang this. How did I know you were gonna mention Alman? Because like she does a lot of karaoke. Oh, but there's other streamers. But I was like, oh, I know a streamer that sings this song. That's me. Someone who does not know music. Wait, what is this? Where could wait, there's nothing here. There's literally nothing here. This is wrong. Wait, then that means this has to be here, right? Ska reference, exactly. Ska, that's Amelia Watson right there. That's it. And also, like Plastic Love, right? A lot of times, or not Plastic Love. Was it Ride on Time? I'm like, that's Garo Guru saying that one. Oh, it's gotta be this. I see. Is it a pram? A fourth person, Amelia Watson, creator of ska. She did create ska. Baby buggy? Oh, it's a baby buggy. I see. This is the place that you push it from. That's the handle. This is the little, what's that thing called? The overhang thing. You got the wheels. Chicken. Baby buggy. So true. So true, Hamplo. Stroller. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Is that a tongue twister? Yo, what is this? A lot of tens? Wow. Tens. Alright, so this is here. This 10 has got to be right here. And then what? Right, I hit karaoke. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. I've talked about everything in the past 3 days. I saw someone using Discord on the train yesterday. I did not actually look at what they were doing, but when I was walking into the train, I saw the Discord UI and I was like, in my head, I was like, I know that. It's Discord. It's a tongue twister, but also my favorite Arnold line. Oh, that Arnold. I do not know many lines. I'm unfamiliar with a lot of popular culture, so I do not know what movie that's from. Baby Driver, is that a movie? Boss Baby, that's a movie. Any fans of Boss Baby in the chat? Imagine if your boss was a baby. Wow. That's crazy. Alright, so this one can't be here. And this one must go this way. It literally must. It literally has to. Imagine not going this way. And then, okay, and then you gotta have this one, okay? It's from The Last Action Hero, which is not a good movie, but Arnold had a lot of fun with it. How could he be the last one? There's so many after him. He can't be the last one. Doesn't he know about other action hero movie? Sylvester Stallone. That's one of them. That's a guy who exists, right? What about Vin Diesel? What about John? What about Steve from Minecraft? I am Steve. Any Steve fans? Any Steve haters? Oh no, what? Oh, there's a 2. There's a 2 of, oh my god, guys, there's a 2. He didn't even know that there was a 2. Unbelievable, man. He thought he knew, but he did not. And therefore, he was mistaken. He was not aware. The challenges that we all face in society today. Anyone face any challenges recently in society? Anything happened to you and you thought, oh man, society again. Yeah. Please explain. Please trauma dump in the chat right now about your issues with society. Oh, that was a mistake. I actually did not mean to put that there. Explain all of your issues with society in this stream for the streamer to make content from. The streamer can exploit your sadness to become content. Right, talk about it. I'll get banned for trauma. Yeah, mods ban that guy. How dare he? Despite me asking for it. That was a mistake. That actually was not, you know, whatever. I'll accept the consequences. It was not supposed to be there. Just a bunch of mentally ill screeching in the void. Nothing substantial or interesting. Anyone scream into the void recently? What's that like? Does the void scream back? Wolfie gonna get featured on a VTuber drama channel for talking about drama? Everybody talking about drama? What's some drama recently in the VTuber community? I feel like I've probably seen some. All the time, it feels pretty good. Screaming into the void. What do you usually scream? Do you just say like ah? Ah, Gargura reference? Ah? Ah. April is over, please no more drama. Oh, do you see the drama? Do you all see the Choco Jacks drama? Can you believe that Choco Jacks did that? That's crazy. Can't believe she would do that, man. That's like... And I thought she was cool. She's out there doing this stuff. Cancel her. I'm just kidding. She didn't do anything that I'm aware of. Is this a bomb? Are you seeing this? Is this like a... This is a bomb. You see this? That's the fuse up there. Any drama, Google Docs? Can't believe Choco Jacks had the gall to have an anniversary. It's not even her anniversary, right? It's like... Wait, this was... I did not mean to put that there, but whatever. It was like a few days ago, or like last week or something, right? He doesn't know Wolfie is a must protect. Hide him from the Twitter nets and blue skies. No, I'm sure there was something, I just don't remember. I'm sure there is some kind of VTuber drama out there. You know, I feel like the more that I stream, the less connected I feel with VTubers. I've talked about this a little bit. It's like when I get raided by someone who is like a game developer, I feel a sense of connection, you know? Like, yeah, we're game developers. We write programs. I feel like, I don't know, with VTubers, it's like, well, alright, they're a VTuber, but like, do we really have that much in common? I feel like, not really, right? And like, should I focus less on rating VTubers? You know, when I end my stream, I'm like, I'm gonna rate someone. It's always a VTuber. And then I raid into them and they're just playing some game and I'm like, I don't know this game. I don't even know what's happening. When I raid into a game dev, I'm like, yo, this guy's working on this thing. That's so cool. I'd love to learn about this thing. I don't know. Game devs, of course we raid into other game devs. Exactly. The shared understanding of topics. And then, you know, sometimes I watch streamers and they don't always just raid into VTubers, you know? They'll raid into some face cam streamers sometimes, and it's like, I don't mind. Sometimes their streams are good. But then, you know, if someone who's like only watching VTubers and you raid into a non-VTuber, they're like, what the? Is there a person on camera? Give me, I'm leaving. Get out of here. I don't want to see this. Strange. How, if I were to return to my VR home, it would be 90-10. I would get swarmed with VTubers in the bad way. I like how Twitch makes y'all approachable or lurkable. Swarmed with VTubers in the bad way. What does that mean? People recording you, people being like, yo, can you say something for my Twitch stream? Can I turn your VR into content? Raiding into a Rust player ain't it. Raiding into a Rust programmer? Big thumbs up. Exactly. I'm gonna drink water right now. Alright, I've hydrated. Let's listen to a different song. BGM 3. Ah, yes. Everyone knows this one. A classic. Alright, what was I talking about? Drama? Was there drama? What did I... Let me... if I just check Twitter right now, there probably was some drama. Why do I even want to talk about drama? Let's see. What's going on out there? No, not really. I don't really see any. So many Fortnite tweets. A lot of tweets about, you know, Vader, Darth Vader in Fortnite. Oh, there's new Phase Connect members. You see that? Phase Connect. Mari underscore EN, Cleo, and Sleepy. They're out there in Phase Connect now? That's crazy. Let's see, the only one I know is, oh yeah, the Doki Bird thing. I didn't really read too much about that. I don't actually know the details. Something happened. What was it? They like tried to like charge her money for like a PC build that they didn't actually make or something. Or like she was like, can you provide like a video? And then they're like, nope. Ongoing is just gonna stand out. Drama. Ongoing drama. I love how fishy looks now. It suits her. Mari underscore again. Also didn't read too much into it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just like tangentially aware of this stuff. Sometimes I see it and I'm like, oh, that's a thing that's happening. And then I just don't read about it. And you know, maybe it's better to not read about it. Just to be tangentially aware of it, and then when people mention it, you're like, I've heard of it. And then they're like, what's your thoughts on it? And you're like, I don't know. That's a thing that happened. They tried to charge it $6K for labor cost. What the PC thing, also her previous manager, the one who tried to take over her brand IP, apparently got the police to force... Wait, what? For Doki Bird? They tried to take over her brand / IP and got the police to force her out of... What? I did not hear about this. What the heck? A lot of things are just happening. How does that even work? It was in the same dock as the PC thing? Okay, I did not even know. I was not even aware that this was a thing. 3K-ish, 2 hours of parts research, 2 to 3 hours of setup and pre-install. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the deal is. That's something. There's always some kind of drama happening. Constantly. Every week, every month, there's always something. Always some streamer drama. Why did I bring this up? I don't even know. It's like a thing that I don't know about. Surely I'm qualified to talk about it. Let me check my notes, huh, guys? What about what else can I talk about? Rain. It was raining. I talked about that. That's it. Microsoft partner, OEM system builder, Windows pre-installation specialist. Qualifications. Everyone list your qualifications in the chat. I said you're gonna show up on a drama channel because you were talking about... Oh, that's what it was. No, but then like, didn't I mention bringing up drama? Which causes you to mention that? Surely I said something, right? Yo, the Wolfie drama though is insane. You see this Wolfie guy? He did what? Wolfie did what? Get him out of here. Don't show me. I always knew that Wolfie guy was messed up. I could not trust him. He, you know, he just didn't seem right to me. The Wolfington situation is crazy. He said what? He brought up this thing. You hear he wasn't streaming. Did you hear Wolfie say he didn't stream at fishing on Wednesday? He's changed, man. He used to stream, and now he doesn't. What's next? So he's gonna stop streaming on Monday as well. You're gonna tell me he's not gonna do Variety Saturday? You're telling me he's not gonna do crosswords, dude? The money has all gone to his head, man. Ever since he's gotten, I don't even know. Times have changed. He used to be, you know, he used to be so cool, and now look at him. It's changed. What am I talking about? What is there to talk about? Numbers. Let's talk about numbers, guys. Well, 1, 2. There's a 2 right here. It was all, yeah, ever since he tried to get more viewers, it's changed. All he cares about is the view count now. Ever since having double digits. It's him. I miss the old Wolfie. Back when it used to have like 5 viewers. I was there for that. Now all he ever talks about is what do I even talk about? All he ever talks about is like companies and other things. Numbers. He's always out there talking about the weather, man. Did you guys see the weather this week? There was so much rain, dude. There was like so much. I was walking outside and it was freaking raining. It was like, man, well, you know, it's like, it's only like rain, right? And then the next day it was raining. The next day it was pretty rainy. I feel like this is like, is this a global thing? I feel like I've seen people from all parts of the world say that it's been rainy recently. You got people in Europe. People in the UK, they're like, it's been so rainy. People in the West Coast. It's also been raining in Brazil, right? What's happening out there? Welcome Infinite Zero. Is it in Ohio as well? Is it raining everywhere? We're gonna have dust storms. Isn't that the famous song that goes da-da-da-da-da? That's it, right? And then you're like, Wolfie, that's the wrong song. It's called a different name. Pretty sure close enough to the polls it doesn't rain. What about the rain? What about the dust rain? I don't even know. What about Sarud Dust Strom? Yeah, what about the rains down in Africa? Toto? He blessed the rains down in Africa? Can he say that? Did he really bless the rains down in Africa? Chat, is this real? Grok, is this real? Have you seen this? Everyone's talking about Grok. Second column from right. So true. So true. Toto said, what? Toto, isn't that the dog from frickin' The Wizard of Oz? Why would Toto be able to bless the rains in Africa, huh? You're telling me a dog has that ability? I don't think so. I've never heard a dog be able to bless rains anywhere. Much less in Africa. This is a totally different continent, even. You expect me to think this is some kind of like magic dog that can bless rains, huh? Toto, isn't that the pre-evolution of Feraligator? No, you're thinking of Crocodile. They're actually named after the dog from... Wait, are they actually? Toto? Chat, is that real? Handflow doesn't lie usually, so I can trust him. Africa is not in Kansas anymore. Yes, why Kansas when Arkansas, huh? Why is this Arkansas when this is Kansas? Makes no sense. America, why? Why would America do this to us? I thought we could trust America. Arkansas. Arkansas? Arkansas even what? Arkansas? Hey guys, why did the chicken cross the road? We talked about this last week. No one knows. No one really knows what goes on in the minds of chickens. You didn't cook it? Chat, am I cooked? No, he's not cooked. My goat will never be cooked. I know people say washed, but it kind of has the same kind of meaning, right? But people don't say my goat is cooked. They say my goat is washed. But can it be both? Can someone be both cooked and washed? I would hope that they would be washed before they're cooked, right? Because otherwise it's unsanitary. You should wash things before you cook them. Maybe not even the chicken knows why. I don't think it knows. Chickens, they kind of just do things, you know? They're kind of just out there living their life. Just doing things arbitrarily. Alright, so that's a 2. That's also a 2 right there, though. So do you know this, guys? That's a 2. Got this one, and look at this. It's a teapot. Or a kettle. Is there a difference? Do teapots only have to be used for tea? No, I guess they are different. It's a kettle. It's totally different. Sanitization practices. I sure hope it does practice, because practice it's what makes perfect. Looked it up. Apparently the band called themselves Toto because they looked at the band ABBA, realized 4-letter names are easy to remember and catch on. Man, they were like trying to optimize their SEO, optimize their search engine optimization. I'm trying to get the largest number of hits on their video. Wow, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 4-letter band name meta. Yeah, the same thing for VTubers. You know, when VTubers get partner on Twitch, they always change their name to like some 5-letter, 4-letter thing. Happens all the time. This was a thing with late 80s RPGs. What did they do? They made short names. Is that what it is? Final Fantasy FFXIV. That's like 5 letters right there. Final Fantasy. Alright, so the 5 can't be here. It also could not possibly be here. And then you got this one. And then what, though? We are left to wonder, and then what? It must be this. Shortened, critically acclaimed MMORPG, Final Fantasy XIV down to FFXIV. Yeah. Final Fantasy. Everyone loves it. You talk to anyone about Final Fantasy, they'll be like, oh, I played that game. I love that game. Have I ever played an FF game? Yes. I've played... I feel like the only one that I probably finished was Final Fantasy... No, I played a few. I finished a few of them. I've finished Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I've finished Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I've finished Final Fantasy... There's like one of those Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles spin-off games for like Game Boy... Sorry, the 3DS or something, or the regular DS. What was it, like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates? Is that one? Is that a thing that exists? I don't know. I've played some that I haven't finished though. I've played Final Fantasy IX. I've played I think I played Final Fantasy X and never finished it. I have probably played at least one or two other ones. Oh, there was that one RTS Final Fantasy game on the DS. Yeah, Ring of Fates, that's the one. I think that's it. That may be all the ones that I've played. Yeah, Revenant Wings. I bought that one and I was like, this was fun for like a few minutes. And then after that I was like, I kind of wish I did not buy this game. Never finished it. But yeah, I think I have played those. I'm trying to think, is there any other one I've played? I don't think so. I watched my cousin play Final Fantasy VII though. And I think I played the demo for Final Fantasy Theatrhythm. Right, that's a game that exists. Welcome, Poor Crew. Is there anything else? Mostly just the spin-offs on Nintendo platforms. Plus 9. Yeah, I think. Because, like, I mostly only own Nintendo platforms. I did have a PS1, which is why I was able to play Final Fantasy IX. Surely there's like another one, right? I can't think of any. Can I just look up list of Final Fantasy games? List of Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, other. I want the non-mainline ones. Tactics. Oh, I played some of Final Fantasy Tactics. Non-advanced, just the regular Final Fantasy Tactics. And then what? Wait, Final Fantasy VII snowboarding? There's a snowboarding game. What? Oh, it's a mobile game. What the heck? I think that's it. I think those are the only ones that I have played. Chocobo series, Crystal Chronicles. Yeah, that's it. I believe that is it. Theatrhythm. Yep. They did port 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 to the GBA. Yeah, and I did not play them. Did we talk about the new American Nintendo Store? We did not, because it does not, I mean, I don't know. Is that something that is interesting? Because, like, I've already been to one, you know? As someone who is a New Yorker, and, like, you know, I've been to New York Nintendo World. So the fact that there's a new one does not affect me whatsoever. Best Final Fantasy is Chrono Trigger. That's a totally different series, though. That's not the same at all. There's a Final Fantasy set coming out next month for Magic the Gathering. What? Final Fantasy. Wait, didn't they? There wasn't there like a Miku collab with Magic the Gathering as well? That was a thing. Legal in all formats. Why would it not be legal? Why would they make a thing and have it be illegal? When the eagle is ill, call me eagle the way I'm ill. I thought it wasn't. Wait, was it? What wasn't? It wasn't legal. They did a Miku secret lair drop, which is just alternate art. Oh, I see. It's like existing art or existing cards. Just they have Miku in them. Interesting. Classic Miku. Miku is so popular nowadays. I remember when no one knew about Miku. That's not true. Many people always knew about Miku. Back before she had her first concert, when that was a big deal, I was like, oh man, Miku concert? Especially in the US, that was huge, dude. It was amazing. Final Fantasy is the Spring-Summer Standard set. So legal in Standard, Modern, Pioneer, Commander, Vintage, Legacy, Planeswalkers. Is that a thing? What is Planeswalkers? I don't even know. Wow, guys. Commander, not Standard. I don't even know what this means. And someone who does not know Magic the Gathering, this means nothing to me. This changes a few opinions I have from the cards they release. There are also Final Fantasy Commander decks, which are only legal in Commander Vintage Legacy. This means the cards are playable in everything. Literally everything. Even Yu-Gi-Oh! Wouldn't that be funny if you just brought a Magic the Gathering card to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel? Like, oh man, I play Black Lotus in defense mode somehow. And then I play Polymerization to combine the Black Lotus with the Karibo. A Tifa card. Magic the Gathering Tifa in the Italy colors. Was it actually? Is that a reference to the Italian Senate video? I don't think there are any Planeswalker cards in the Final Fantasy set. I don't even know what Planeswalker is. I was just saying that because that is one phrase that I know. And I thought if I were to mention that phrase, people would be like, whoa, he knows what that is. He's a real player because he knows this very common format. The player is a Planeswalker? What? The heck? Is that why there's land cards? Because we're walking on the plains? The lands known as the plains? I did see the instant speed, instant ramen artifact. What? Speed reference? I show speed reference? Planeswalker is basically a super wizard who can travel between parallel worlds and summon creatures and cast spells. Oh, so that's why there's lands. Because we are taking the creatures from the different lands. That makes so much sense. I played the Magic Arena online game with the NPC. The NPC called me a Planeswalker. What if that's like a slur in the game? You're like, this is the fantasy racism. They called me what? You can't say that. Which came first, Planeswalkers or mana cards? I don't know. Both. It's a chicken and egg problem. FF15, the boy band in card game, had cup noodle product placement in it. Yo, just like Eurocamp. It's literally Eurocamp. Lore is that the magical energy mana is extracted by tapping it out of lands. You use mana to summon or cast. We're extracting energy from the lands. But think about the creatures that live in those lands, huh? Then they won't have access to the magic powers within. Are we the bad guy? Are we exploiting the environment for our personal gain? Welcome, SimmerQ. The original diegetic explanation of what the game was about is that you were wizard gods taking magic from the land to summon creatures from your adventures. Later they nerfed the planeswalkers in the lore so they could make planeswalker cards, but the player isn't a card unless you play whatever that is. I see, every land untaps. But what if, I don't know. What if it's not okay? Think about all the squirrels just living their life and suddenly your land is tapped. And just start rotating your land. Well. Okay, what can I do here? We got a 3. How many ones is it? That's like 7, 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course it is. So this must be the 5. Don't tap my land so openly, Baka. Anyone up tapping lands? Tap dancing on those lands? Land parties. Form of the approach of the second sun. It turns you into a card and you place the top 7 cards on your head. Wait, what? Is that real? For anyone curious, this is a joke card that is not legal. It was printed. Oh, I see. They have you do physical things in real life? What the? Okay, so this must be the 2. This is a guy lifting weights. I kind of could tell that this is what it was. It's simply a bodybuilder. Sorry, that's a different thing. Guy lifting weights. Strong man. It's gonna say strong man. Never mind. Weightlifting. Alright, let's listen to a new song. No. 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 Okay, let's listen to this one. This one's a classic. Everyone knows this one. There's another card that is rip up this card into pieces, drop them from a few feet in the air. Any card the pieces touch is destroyed. Ain't no way. Why would they make a card like that? It's like a one-time use card. Is that allowed? It's a reference to a tournament. Did someone do that in a real tournament? An urban legend? Is that the guy who gathered the magic? Okay, so the 12 has gotta be here. There was a legal card that said flip this card in the air, whichever cards it lands on are destroyed. There was a legal card. When did they make it illegal? What if it doesn't land on any card? I guess, I don't know. Isn't that a skill issue then? You know, you would need to practice flipping the card. Someone at a tournament, as the legend goes, tore it into pieces and flipped it. I see. That's a big brain move, actually. It's genius. Man, card games though. What's the deal with card games? I feel like I haven't played a card game. No, I was okay, Balatro. I haven't played like a physical card game in a while. What was the last card game I even played? I don't even know. Can I even think of one? Has there been a recent card game that I have played? I don't know. Weren't there a card where you could use cards that you hid on the table beforehand as long as your opponent doesn't find them? Man, they're so wacky with their cards though. What are they doing? Cheaty face? They later printed a non-legal joke card that says tear this card. I see, I see. They have fun out there. They're always joking, man. Wizards of the Coast. What are they even doing? Wizarding. I saw someone on the train the other day. They were playing that Pokemon trading card game app. And by playing, I just mean they were unboxing. They were unpacking cards or whatever. What's it called? Is it still called unboxing? Pack opening? They were pack opening. You know, I think I've never seen anyone actually play that card game. I only ever see people like open card packs. I don't actually see them like use the cards in any way. Do people even play the card game? I would, you know, probably. They are dragons sitting in dungeons. The card that you flip onto your opponent's board is now banned because they ban all manual dexterity cards. I think that's for the best. It is strange that they even had those in the first place. It is very inaccessible. They also ban all actual gambling cards. Use of cards that force players to wager cards in their deck and the winner of the game gets to keep them. What the heck? What are they doing over there? Someone saw that card and thought, yeah, this is a good idea. We'll add this to the game, for real. A few people probably play the Pokemon trading card game app. It's kind of jank. Pogs. Magic was made to be disposable and cheap. No, but then like, it's kind of annoying though to have to like get a new card. These are very old cards, like from the first few sets of the game, from the early mid-90s, when they were like, surely no one's gonna take this seriously. Yu-Gi-Oh's mangaka actually got the idea of wagering cards from Magic the Gathering. Dang. It all comes back to card games. Wait, but how can he get that if Yu-Gi-Oh was an ancient Egyptian thing invented in ancient times? How can they get it from Magic the Gathering, huh? This doesn't make sense. Logically inconsistent. Unless you're telling me that Magic the Gathering was existing before ancient Egypt. Ain't no way. In ancient times they summoned stone tablets from people's Ba and Ka. Baka? Garfield later made another game where every booster is a full deck and you cannot mix and match. Garfield? Wait, what? Garfield? Is that like the cat? Or is there like a guy who worked on Magic the Gathering named Garfield? Garfield? Richard Garfield. Okay, that makes more sense. It's like, what are you talking about? Garfield? That's the cat that hates Mondays. Imagine being defined by what you hate. That's the cat that loves lasagna. You ever think some people hate things too much? Garfield known for hating Mondays. That was like the first thought that I had. Even before his love for lasagna, is his hate for Mondays. And that really goes to show you, it doesn't matter, you know, in your life, if you enjoy things, don't let your hate of other things overshadow your love of things. You know, Garfield, he hated too much. You know, everyone knows he hates Mondays. Don't become Garfield. You should enjoy things more than you hate things. What is it? Is this a coffee grinder thing? Any fans of coffee? What is this? Does anyone know? Pepper mill? No, aren't those like taller? It's coffee mill. Coffee mill. Coffee mill. Alright, guys. When I thought about Mill today, I thought about Northern Lion Stream. He was playing Clubhouse Games 51 with Ludwig, and there was this Roman game that had a mill, an effect called mill. Coffee. It doesn't work as well. And then he played Mahjong. He played Mahjong. And everyone was like, "You don't even have a Yaku." Nor he doesn't even have a Yaku, man. What's he doing? You're telling me he was one away from Tenpai and yet he had no Yaku. Mahjong handle, never. I will never play Mahjong handle. When am I gonna play Mahjong again? I don't know. Never. You will never see Mahjong ever again. I don't know. I don't really have an interest in playing Mahjong anymore. I still want to teach him Mahjong. Why are you so insistent on wanting to teach him Mahjong? He clearly has no interest. He's not even interested in learning about Yaku. He's not even interested in things. Random things I'm obsessed with. Has anyone been obsessed with things recently? What is everyone's recent obsession? It's because you get to farm aura when you pull out a Richi. So true. He will learn to be interested in... No. They're stuck in my mind like cursed nails. Is that a thing that people say? Cursed nails? Is that a German, like, saying? Join in a bunch of randos jonging it in a hotel lobby. Yeah, jonging it, and by it, let's just say... Mayaku. Poke Run Kingdom. Is that a... I don't really know what that game actually is. I know some people enjoy it. I don't actually know what the gameplay looks like. No, but that's the most appropriate analogy. Cursed nails? What? I don't know. Man, I don't even know things. Like sumo. You note that when I said that joke, I specifically made sure to say jester because there's an R in that. Some people, they don't say it, they just say, you know, let's just say, but they're missing the R, okay? To be entirely accurate, you gotta say the R. Jester. Just like Balatro. Jester? Just are. Hatsu on my chun. What does that mean? What does he mean by this? What is bro talking about? I got the 5 and the 2. Recent obsessions. What have I recently been obsessed with? Hatsu is green dragon. Chun is that one. The red one. Oh, okay. I didn't know they had names. I'm not aware. I just thought it was the red dragon, the white dragon, the green dragon. The Bofa dragon, the D's dragon. The dragon D's. Watch people stream Mahjong and they just keep talking things I don't understand because they randomly use the Japanese terms. Yeah, people, when they're like Tanyao. When they don't say all simples or flush or whatever, they're like, yeah, this is the Tanyao. Oh, Tanyao is pretty well known. And maybe there's like some that are not well known. You're like, what are they talking about? What is blood waffling about? Wires. You're gonna summon Razul. He's gonna show up and he's gonna say wires blast. We're gonna say, why are you even here? And then he'll be like, I don't know. Isn't this fun, guys? Picross. It's been so long. A Pong. Pong. He's mixing terminology from different variants of Mahjong. Let's see, I thought that was the Chinese term. Yeah, that's the Chinese term. That's the Chinese Mahjong. Okay, we got the 3. That's a 1. Just to make it even more confusing. Isn't that the ones you're supposed to use in English? You're not supposed to use anyone, right? It just depends on how you localize it. I saw an English Ricci rulebook once and it used those terms. Well, I don't know if like you're supposed to. It just happened that they used that. Maybe the style guide has changed since then. MahjongEurope.org. I don't know. Imagine knowing things. Any knowers out there? Anyone a fan of knowledge? Man, that's what's so bad nowadays. No one cares about knowledge. I care about knowledge. Imagine Dragon. Oh, it's a plug. It's right there, a plug. Probably because Mahjong is technically Japanese. Or sorry, I read the wrong. Technically Chinese. Ricci is adopted in Japan. Adopted and adapted. Yeah, Ricci, Mahjong. Anyway. What was I saying? What was I talking about? Things that I've been obsessed with. Can I check YouTube? What has my YouTube recommendations been? Not too much. Not anything noteworthy. Taskmaster. Getting a lot of Taskmaster recommended to me. What's in my liked videos? I can't read those words. I don't know what that says. That's Ma though. That's a Ma from Mahjong. Maybe the Ma. Is that Ma? What's that one? Something. Is that Mahjong? I don't know. Words. Wait, is this one housewife? The word on the right side? Something like that. I don't think there's any notable videos in my YouTube history right now. Nothing worth talking about. Oh man. What's the deal? Alright, we got an 11 right here. We got the 5. The 5 must be there, and the 1. And that's the 4. You would not even believe it, but that right there, that is in fact the 4. Wow. I don't know why you wouldn't believe it, but sometimes things are a little bit unbelievable. Crumbelievable, if you will. Sometimes things are even crumbelievable. Crumbs that you can believe in. Believe in. And we got the 3. You got the other 3. And that's a 3. That's a 2 and a 1. We got the 1 and the 3. Guys, don't you forget about that 1 and the 3. That's right. We're classic. We're back at it again. Numbers time. It's been so long since numbers time. Can you believe we have not had numbers time in so long now? It's been months. Literally months. When was the last time I even played this game? I don't even know. I didn't even say 1-1 this stream. Look, now I can say it. 1-1. There's a 1-1. But that felt a bit forced. I just said it because I had not said it this stream yet. But if I had not been aware, I don't think I would have said 1-1 at all. And that is a bit messed up. That is what is messed up, you know, with society nowadays. It's like the 1-1s are all artificial. They're not even real anymore. They're so forced. It really says a lot, you know, about society. That's a 4 right there. That's right there. That is a 3. And a 1 and a 3. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, it's another 3. And then this one, and then look at this one. There's a 3 right there. This one though, the 2 and the 1. What do you think this is? A rabbit? What could this even possibly be? Glasses? Oh, this is sunglasses, right? Surely this is sunglasses. It's gotta be. It literally has to be. Ain't no way that it's not. Alright, based on context, I'm gonna say it probably is here, but we can't just assume that. You know, even though it is correct, I think it would be not cool to just assume that it's there. But why not though? Why would I not assume that it's there? We got 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So that must be a 2. And that must be a 1. And that 2 may as well be there. And then what? And then you're left to ponder the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines life as something or other. And really, it is the choices we make. It does not. What is the Mewtwo quote? I see now. Ah yes, Mew, I see now. You are correct. It does not matter the circumstances that we were born. It is what we do with the gift of life that makes us whatever. How does he say? Classic Mewtwo quote. from the movie. Mewtwo just says, Mew just says Mew, and then Mewtwo understands. That was it. Welcome QYFH. Cheating on Miku Picross? I'm finished with Miku Picross. I've done all the puzzles. It's been like at least a year. It's been over. You can't just, you know, you can't just be playing the same game. I guess you can, but you know, at some point you finish the game and then it's time to move on to the next game. It's fine. Miku's in Fortnite. She doesn't need Picross anymore. She couldn't even legally call it Picross. It was an illegal Picross. It was nonograms. Sun dash glasses? I don't think I've ever seen sunglasses written that way. It's always like one word, right? Or even then, I feel like I would not put a dash between it. Sunglasses. Alright, this will be the last puzzle of the day. I'm hoping that it is a simple one, and not one that will take like 20 minutes. We got 3, we got the 8. Look at this 8, it's like right here. And the 6 has gotta be right there though. Some people, they don't even know. They're not even aware. 1, 9. 9 must be here. And that must be the 5. Welcome, Namington. Why always nonograms? Why never yes grams? Because that's not allowed. It's illegal. The Geneva Convention disallowed it after the conflict that occurred when there was too much. It was too agreeable. And they had to stop them. Otherwise, there would be a trade war. There would be some war crimes committed. And I think that was messed up. When the grams were known. No grams. Me when I'm unaware of any grams. No grams. Great one. Great one, Wolfie. This is why we stick around for these top tier jokes out here. Could not get enough of this guy's jokes. This guy's clever jokes every time he's not streaming. I wish, oh man, I sure wish Wolfie was here with his amazing jokes that we all laugh at every day. I wish I could be as funny as Wolfie. That guy knows comedy. This guy, you know, he's always out there saying his jokes. How does he do it? How does he say the jokes and the numbers? There's also numbers there, man. It's crazy. I've never seen someone say jokes and numbers at the same time. Wow. Great. That is great. Jokes were pronounced yolks. Like an egg. Like the egg. Yolk. Wow, great, there's jokes. Joker. 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 Pennywise. Everyone knows that reference. Imagine not knowing that reference. Alright, that's the 1-1. This is the first legit 1-1 of today. That was the 1-1 right there. Got the 1, we got the 9. The jokes. Now that's trying too much. That's way too much. So that's gotta be the 9. It's gotta be a 1. The 5 has gotta go across. Some might even say picross. Am I right, guys? No. That is wrong. It does not make any sense. It is across, not picross. He threw in the double S. Okay, the 4 goes there. The 7 The 7 is right there. And then what? That one, and then another one. Another one. Another one. DJ Khaled. Another one. We the best music. What did he mean by that? Is he really the best music? Grok, is this true? Is he really the best music? Google. What did he mean when he said we the best music? And another one. Another what? We just don't know. Streamer is losing his mind. Okay, there's a 3. There's another 3. This is a bird. This is like a seagull, right? You ever think it's strange that seagull is so close to eagle? But they're not even the same at all. That's a 1-1. Basil, what are you doing? Basil, this guy using basil. Man, oh, look at this bird. It's a gull. Seagull. Duck. Crow? That does not look like a crow. You look at this and you tell me that's a crow? That doesn't make any sense. Why is the top of the crow like that, huh? Why shouldn't this be entirely dark? If it was a crow, this would be dark. They would have the white as the eye to distinguish it. It does not look anything like a crow. Nintendo, get out of here. Freaking Nintendo. Well, anyway, that was Mario's Picross. That is it for today. Let us find out what day it is. Let's erase. That's an eyeball. So true. All right, National Pizza Party Day. Bike to School Day, Drawing Day. General Prayer Day. I thought this said La Obama. NASCAR Day, Barbecue Day. Bike to Work Day. Bunch of day. What? There's holy frick. There's a lot. Wait, what the heck? Oh, what the? No, this is like sports. Why did they start adding like sporting events and movie showings? What? What the heck happened to this website? They fell off. What are they doing? 1925 Phantom of the Opera with 3 Imagine this is the Ray message. 1925's Phantom of the Opera with 3-piece live accompaniment at the Ravioli Theater. Waiters Day, Shades Day. Ooh, Shades Day. Sea Monkey Day. We could do Shades Day. Shades Day raid. Okay, you gotta add the word raid to that though. Alright, who do I raise? Choco Jack's still streaming. It is her anniversary stream, right? Let's see. She's on a BRB screen? Come on, man. I can't raid into a BRB stream. BRB stream? Imagine if there was a BRB stream. The streamer is just BRBing the stream. Okay, what if I send you over to I don't know. I can't not raid Choco Jax. It's literally her celebration stream, right? But she's not even there. And I might not even be there when she's back because I gotta go BRB. She has no style. She has no grace. This Kong has a monkey face. How does it go? She's actually kinda there. She's typing things in the chat. She's using TTS. Oh, I see. She's redeeming the TTS. Her voice is messed up. Man. from streaming too much. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I'll be back tomorrow with some good old variety. I have a few games, but not really that many. I have a small amount of games. Yeah, that's it though. That is all. I'm going to sit here for many more seconds while I wait for that raid to go. And you can sit here to wait. Or you could simply not. Yep. Alright, raid's going. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.